Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Kellogg's Pep. P-E-P, Pep. Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal, presents
The Adventures of Superman. Today, publisher John Grayson has again fallen victim to the ugly schemes of Rufus Pelley, the warmonger, who would stop at nothing to crush the hope of world peace.
Hello there, gang. This is your pal Dan McCullough. Say, do you know why opening a package of Kellogg's Pep is like going on a treasure hunt? Why, it's because there's always an exciting prize inside each Pep package, and you never can tell what your next prize will be. For instance, it might be one of Pep's 18 slick comic buttons, bright-colored buttons, each picturing one of your favorite comic strip characters. Or your next Pep prize might be a model of a famous fighting plane, one of 7 thrilling plane models in the series, all made of colored cardboard, easy and fun to assemble. Or you might find a beautiful full-color bird picture from a series of 24, each with a description on the reverse side so you can name and know any of these birds when you see them. And any one of these 3 swell kinds of prizes is only a part of the treasure you get in Kellogg's Pep. Think of the good, keen taste of those crisp flakes. Flakes that are light as a breeze and crammed with sunshine flavor. I mean, Pep's delicious, a prize in itself. Every tempting spoonful coaxes you on because it tastes so terrific. Yes, sir, a bowl of Pep with cool milk and sugar is just about the swellest summer dish I know for breakfast. So get going on the treasure hunt that starts with every Pep package. Today, ask Mom for Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal.
Now, the adventures of Superman. Because the aim of the World Peace Federation is to prevent wars, Rufus Pelley, a greedy munitions manufacturer who profits from war, schemed to wreck the organization by poisoning public opinion against it. To accomplish this, he ordered Homer Smith, his secret agent, to blackmail John Grayson, publisher of the Daily Planet, and so obtained control of the great paper. Then, when editor Perry White tried to block Smith from attacking the Peace Federation and the Planet, he mysteriously disappeared. Clark Kent finally persuaded the frightened Grayson to help him lay a trap for Smith, hoping the man would lead him to Perry White. But Smith, suspicious, consulted Pelley, who sent a counter-trap. And that evening, Kent and Police Inspector Henderson were lured away from Grayson's house by a false report of an accident to Lois Lane. When Kent rushed back to the publisher's house, the butler told him that Grayson had been taken away by 2 men claiming to be police officers. As we continue now at Grayson's door, Kent demands,
Did they take Mr. Grayson away in a police car?
Why, yes, they... Good heavens. I just remembered, Mr. Kent.
What?
Our police cars are painted blue and cream.
Yes?
This car was maroon.
Uh-oh. What make car was it? Did you notice?
No, sir, I didn't. I was so upset, you see.
Well, did you notice whether it was a sedan or a coupe?
Well, it was a sedan. I remember that.
Maroon sedan, eh? All right, now think carefully, Phillips. Which way did the car turn when it left the driveway?
To the left, sir.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir. I stood outside the door here looking after it. When it reached the foot of the lane below our grounds, it turned left into River Drive.
Good for you. Now get this. I want you to phone police headquarters at once.
Yes, sir.
Tell them what happened. Describe the car and tell them I suggest they put out an alarm for it at once. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, hurry now. Go into the house and call headquarters at once.
Yes, sir.
Now to get out of these clothes. Uh-oh, here comes Henderson's car. I better see him as Superman, I guess. Back of these bushes and out of these street clothes. Henderson and I will have to work fast. And if I'm right, we'll break this case tonight or never. There we are, all set. And just in time. Here's Henderson. Inspector!
Oh, who's that, Kent? Great Jehoshaphat. Superman.
That's right. Listen, Inspector.
Hey, what are you doing here? What happened?
Mr. Grayson was taken away in a car by 2 men.
What?
While you and I... while you and Clark Kent were at the Flower Ridge Hospital. My hunch says they were Homer Smith's men.
Why, sure. That phony call about Miss Lane was to get Kent and me away from the house so they could grab Grayson.
Yes, and force him to let them use the Daily Planet to sabotage the World Peace Federation.
Now, wait a minute. How did you know about all this?
I've been in closer touch with this case than you know, Inspector. And I'm convinced this whole rotten business is a plot against the Peace Federation. So I'm doing everything I can to make the Federation succeed.
Oh, well, go on. You say Grayson was taken away?
In a maroon sedan. It turned left on River Drive. I'm going after it. You want to come along?
You bet I do. Oh, just wait till I radio headquarters and get an alarm out for that car.
I've already taken care of that. Come on. up under my arm.
You mean I'm going to fly with you?
Right, and without a parachute. You want to back out?
Are you kidding? I'm ready whenever you are.
Okay, here we go then. Up, up, and away!
Boy, talk about your rocket plane. When you travel, you really go places, Superman.
Faster than a patrol car, eh, Inspector?
That's a joke, son. Oh, see anything of a maroon sedan?
No, not yet.
Do you see it yet?
No,
Then why are you slowing?
that's the Metropolis Bridge down there.
So what?
Well, the bridge is at least 30 minutes from Mr. Grayson's house by fast car, and there are police officers on it. I don't think our friends would stay with the maroon sedan that long.
Why not?
Well, they know that as soon as you and Kent got to the hospital and learned you'd been tricked, you'd go back to Grayson's house, find out what happened, and put out an alarm for them.
Yeah, that makes sense. They probably had another car waiting for them someplace. They ditched the maroon sedan and go on the other car.
Right. But if they've already swapped cars, they didn't do it on River Drive.
Well, how do you know?
Because I examined every car we passed and didn't see Mr. Grayson.
Oh, then where do we go from here?
Well, there are only 3 highways intersecting River Drive between Grayson's house and the bridge.
Only 3.
That's right.
Well, how do you expect
You
we're
forget
gonna...
I can move pretty fast. We'll sweep over those highways for 15 or 20 miles in each direction. If there's a car on any of them with John Grayson in it, take my word that we'll find it. Hang on. Now you're really going to see some speed. Away!
Carrying Inspector Henderson, Superman streaks back above River Drive, then angles off the first highway to sweep above it for 20 miles. Then back in the other direction for another 20 miles. Then he repeats this procedure over the second highway and over the third. When he fails to spot a car carrying Publisher Grayson, he begins to range in great circles, flashing over side lanes and little-used roads. But after 2 hours, his search is still fruitless. But meanwhile, on the magnificent island estate of Rufus Pelly, the munitions magnate has just pushed John Grayson and Perry White into the circular glass-walled turret study atop the great stone house on the sea. Grayson's face is cut and bruised. His clothing is torn, but his jaw is set as stubbornly as is Perry White's. Seated in a deep chair, Pelly looks up at them coldly.
Now, gentlemen.
Now, you look here, Pelly. You can't get away with this, holding me a prisoner, abducting John Grayson. Those are capital offenses, and you'll go to the chair for it just as sure as my name is Perry White.
Please, Mr. White, you're very tiresome.
No, I'm tiresome, am I? Well, let me tell you...
You tell me nothing. You've each had 15 minutes to consider my proposition. What's your answer?
You call that a proposition? Why, you money-greedy rat, you cold-blooded murderer.
Hugo!
If you think you can make me knuckle under...
Shut up!
Oh, you big gorilla,
Cowards! Easy, Mr. Grayson. Next time, Hugo won't be so gentle.
By George Pelly, you and your gorilla are both going to...
Sit down, White. Stop being a fool. Now, gentlemen, my time is limited. You, Mr. Grayson, I told you that I purchased all outstanding shares in the Daily Planet. I now own 49% of the stock. If you sell me 2 more shares, I'll own the controlling interest.
Why, you...
In exchange for that, I'll guarantee you and White your freedom.
Don't listen to him, John. He's bluffing. He knows if we get out of here, we'll send him to the chair.
Not at all. My tracks are well covered. I'll say you came here of your own free will to arrange the sale of the Daily Planet. You have my word that I'll release you the moment I have those 2 shares of stock.
Your word? You think we're fools enough to take the word of a warmonger, a cold-blooded murderer? You want the planet so that you can sabotage the World Peace Federation, the only hope in the world for peace.
Right. You want more wars so you can make more dirty millions out of selling munitions.
No, let him alone, Hugo. Of course I want wars, Mr. White. There will always be wars, and my business
There doesn't have to be wars. Not if we'll all get together, all of us in all countries, and talk our differences over in mutual trust and friendship. The World Peace Federation stands for that, and not you nor any other mass murderer is going to sabotage it.
Right, Perry. I was a fool to let this man scare me in the first place. I'm with you all the way now.
Good for you, John.
Have you forgotten, Mr. Grayson, that I still have all the letters and checks and the forged documents, which, if turned over to the FBI, will indict you as a traitor to your country?
Go ahead and turn them over. I'll take my chances in the court of justice.
That's telling him, John.
Is that your final answer, Grayson?
That's my final answer. I won't sell out the Peace Federation to try to save my own skin.
Very well, gentlemen. I'm sure Mrs. Grayson will sell me 2 shares of stock from her widow's estate to keep her dead husband from being branded a traitor in every newspaper in the country.
Why, you... Her dead husband?
Exactly, sir. You see, you and Mr. White have both just signed your own death warrants. Take them away, Hugo.
Pale but unflinching, Perry White and John Grayson obey the giant Hugo's gesture to precede him through the door. We'll learn what happens in a moment when we return for the exciting climax of today's episode. So stand by.
You know, if every home in the country could be wired for sound these summer mornings, you'd hear a big chorus of compliments come breakfast time from the thousands of homes where Kellogg's Pep heads the menu. Things like, "Gee, Mom, is this super?" Or, "Brother, Pep wins by a cool mile." Because Kellogg's Pep with cool milk and sugar is that kind of dish, those flakes of pep are crisp and light, all golden to look at, and full up with keen sunshine flavor. A golden toasted flavor that brings your appetite wide awake in a jiffy. And say, speaking of wide awake, will your eyes open wide when you see the exciting prize in every Pep package? A prize that's always a swell surprise. For instance, could be a model fighting plane in colored cardboard, one of 7 great Pep planes you can collect. Or could be one of 24 new full-color bird pictures with a description on the reverse side so you can identify these birds in the air. Or could be one of 18 bright-colored comic buttons picturing a famous funnies character like Smokey Stover or Smitty or even Superman. So, gang, start collecting all 3 kinds of these wonderful Pep prizes. Today, ask Mom to bring home Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine cereal.
As Rufus Pelly was condemning Perry White and John Grayson to death, Superman, carrying Inspector Henderson, is still searching for them from the air. Twice they have contacted police headquarters to discover that the maroon sedan in which John Grayson was taken from his house has not yet been found. Now they are hovering above a narrow, dark street which has only a few houses on it and which ends at the river.
We might as well face it, Superman. Those fellows got away with Grayson.
Afraid you're right, Inspector. What happened to their maroon sedan? They must have left it someplace nearby. They wouldn't have risked driving more than a few minutes in it.
Now, my men will pick it up eventually.
We can't wait. That car is our only clue to Grayson and Perry White. And if we don't find them tonight, I don't think we'll ever find them.
I shouldn't have listened to Kent this afternoon.
Why?
I should have picked up Homer Smith. He knows where White is. Now Healy says he can't be found either.
I don't think you'd have gotten anything out of Smith. He's a smooth article. If only... Wait a minute. Let's have a look at that.
What? Hey, where are you going?
The guardrail at the end of the street is broken. See?
Where?
Over there.
Oh, yeah. Hey, if any car had crashed through that, well, it would just be too bad. The next stop is the river.
That's just what I'm thinking. Yes, there it is.
Huh? There what is?
There's a car at the bottom of the river, Inspector. A sedan. And I think it's the one we're looking for.
Eagerly, Superman gazes down through the dark waters of the Metropolis River to where a sedan rests on the muddy bottom. Is it the maroon sedan in which Rufus Pelly's men took John Grayson away? And if it is, will it furnish Superman the clue he needs to locate White and Grayson in time to save their lives and to catch the warmonger who is conspiring to wreck the World Peace Federation? Tomorrow's episode brings us closer to the stirring climax of our story. So don't miss it. Tune in, same time, same station.
And remember, for breakfast, it's Kellogg's Pep.
For excitement, the adventures of Superman.
Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC comic magazines and is brought to you Monday through Friday at the same time by Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine cereal.